Yeah.
Hello, adventurers, and welcome to another episode of Dueling Dungeon Masters. I am one of your Dueling Dungeon Masters. My name is Michael, and you can find me at PTH all the time. PTH official, underscore official, dot official. Just search for part-time heroes. You'll probably see us. My newest co-DM, Alicia.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to this episode. I am Alicia. You can find me everywhere across social media at Alicia Filiolo. And if you can spell my last name, I might give you a prize. So if you find me and hit the follow, like, share, click, or whatever button, and you can spell my last name, you might get something. So take it back, Mark. Where are we at? Wait, Michael, not Mark.
Hey,
Mark's
same
down
thing.
there. I saw Michael's face first. Y'all, it is Monday, and we are ready to roll some dice and find out where these shrunk little nuggets are at. But I am a little tired, so hopefully this works.
We're gonna wake you up for sure.
It's gonna be great.
Hopefully so.
And with us always is our fantastic, amazing, beautiful cast. I will let them all introduce themselves.
Woo! Hi, my name is Beverly Provost. You can find me on Instagram at Beverly Provost Official or on the TikTok at Nerdy Native Gal. And I'm going to be playing
Sammy Sawyer, and I have been robbed, and this science fair is rightfully mine. Isn't that right, Bobby?
I mean, you did get the honorable mention, but you said that wasn't great. So I guess, yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work for sure. So, yeah, I'm Andrew. I'm playing Bobby Sawyer, the older jock brother of Sammy. You can find me online at Boom Man Grenade on Twitter, or you can follow our Twitch channel, Live from the Apocalypse, where we do a bunch of tabletop RPGs as well.
Hey everyone, my name is Nick Mason, and you can find me everywhere online at Nick Mason with a 0. And I'm playing Paul Clark, just like last time, even smaller.
Yes.
Mark, you are muted.
Marcus, you are muted. Oh,
So it was a really great joke. It was a really great joke, and I won't do it again. And I won't do it again.
You have to.
No, my name's Mark, and you can find me at Magic Mad Mark again here and there through social media. I will be playing Rhonda. She is here with her son Paul at the science fair, and she's out of cigarettes, and that's not a good thing.
Oh no! What are we gonna do?
I don't know. It's getting hairy here.
Yeah, so where last we left off, our heroes were obviously Shrunk, and they've all kind of come together on top of the table here, the desk set up in the cafeteria, the rec room, the gymnasium, the whatever it is, what do you call those? Where they're like all where you do a bunch of stuff in the same room?
Cafeteria.
Multi-purpose room.
That's probably right.
Oh.
That's what I'm envisioning here. And so we're all atop this table, and we're all tiny, and that's as far as we've gotten in our story so far. So without further ado, I think we're going to get our first flip of the night. Are you ready, Alicia?
No, I'm not. Let's
flip that coin. Flip
that coin.
Let's get
Flip that coin. Woo!
Yeah.
Tiny.
It's Michael.
I'm sorry, Alicia. It's you tonight. You're starting us off.
Oh, snap.
Okay, here we go.
Very excited.
So everybody's been shrunk. You are at the table, except Rhonda. You're on the floor, correct? You have not moved.
Yes, I haven't. No.
Sammy, you have found Paul, and there's this moment where you are kind of taken aback, and you were helping him up onto the table when we last saw you. So I want to check in. Where is Sammy as she has pulled this young boy up on the table, and where are you as you gasped and kind of paused as you looked at him?
Sammy is very confused.
I'm 7. There's no, what am I? I don't care about boys, but Here's a boy, and I don't even know if I ever want to care about boys or girls or anybody. Um, so I'm gonna try and keep this to myself right now. Except for Bobby. Of course, Bobby knows everything. But um, I'm trying to keep it together. I don't want him to see.
Bobby, do you notice Sammy's disposition? Are you excited there's someone else who has shrunk with you?
Yeah, I think Bobby kind of takes a look around and just like, hey, yeah, Paul, right? You did the turkey project. I've seen you around a bit. Glad you're doing all right, man. Hey, Sam, are you okay? You're like sweating a bunch.
There must be something happening molecularly from being shrunk. As we all seem to be. Hi, I'm Sammy. Hi,
Oh,
this is my brother Bobby.
well, hi guys. Hi Sammy. Hi Bobby. Sorry, I don't really know you guys already, but I'm kind of new in town, and I'm also new at being this size. Sorry, I'm just a lot to take in. Which,
See,
um,
he's sweating too. It's not just me. It's
Do
just
you
see,
think
it's
it?
from.
Do you think like if we get shrunk, it's because we have like so much water in our bodies that like there's just more water just kind of coming out? Is that gonna be a problem? Is that gonna be a
uh,
problem?
We
I don't know. I
we
mean,
just will make sure you don't get poked with any pins, and I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, because otherwise we just like deflate like a balloon. That'd be terrible.
Sure.
as great as it is chatting with you guys, my mom is down there. She also got shrunk.
Like all
Can
the way at the bottom, because that's
Your
pretty
mom?
far
all the way at the bottom of
down.
the table. Yeah.
Oh
Here, come on,
no.
look. And I rush
All
over
right.
to the edge of the table.
Yeah, you keep going over
And
the edge, man. All right.
it's all
And
right.
like,
Just stand back there if you need to. But come over here, Sammy.
As
I
you
get close to
are,
the edge. Go
as
ahead.
you're getting close to the edge, Paul, where are you now that you have found yourself at the top of the table? There are two other people here, and you and Rhonda aren't alone.
Relieved. I mean, certainly relieved. Just trying to like recall those feelings of relief. I think were a little more fresh last time we played because we had just sort of like gotten to this precipice really. But I'm certainly, I mean, relieved, but kind of even more freaked out to see that there's more people who are also got shrunk because of whatever happened here at the science fair. So relieved, but still very much freaked out and really hoping that yeah he can get his mom to safety as well.
Okay. What do you see from the top, Paul? Are you looking over the table yet? Have you gotten to the part where you're ready to yell down at mom while she's chilling with her last cigarette?
I think so. Yeah. I'm ready to. I'm peering over the edge, and I look down, and it's a really long distance, but I'm assuming I can still clearly see her. And I'm gonna yell down to her, "Hey, mom! There's more people up here. We're not alone. Other people got shrunk too."
Can I hear that?
Can you?
Should
Are
I
you
roll
paying
something?
attention, Rhonda?
Oh,
Are you so is as we're Paul has yelled down to you. Are you paying attention to him climbing this table, or are you so far into your secret cigarette that you're not paying attention? Where's Rhonda at in all of this?
I think once he was on a steady pace, after a certain point, you're like, oh, I can tell he's strong enough that he's gonna make it to the top. He's at a clear, steady pace. He's an athletic boy, and that's when she was able to turn away. So I think maybe about halfway up, she started to focus on herself. She's like, he's fine. I've seen him climb worse and higher. Um, I believe in him, and he's doing the foot over hand thing. He's doing it the right way.
Good boy.
Yeah. But no, I believe she is finishing that and staring off at all of the giants around her who are talking here and there and are just completely oblivious.
So I think I'm going to have you roll brains. There really isn't a skill that fits you being not. I mean, it could be charm, but I don't think you're really conversating. So I'm going to have you roll brain based on the fact that you're really in a different space right now, focusing on your own self care at the moment. And if you'll roll for me the level, the difficulty, I think is probably going to be a 10, boss. You think you get there to 10? I think it's a pretty solid halfway screen. I'll give it to you
Sure.
halfway. So 10 is going to be your difficulty.
Okay. That is a 12. That is my 12. Sorry.
You're good. Don't worry.
So it is a 6 plus 1, so 7. I can make it if I use all of my karma right now.
That's right. Or choose to fail and get a adversary
Adversity
token.
Adversity token is what they're called. Sorry. No, I know. I think I'm gonna fail it. I don't think she's collected. I don't think she really wants to focus at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. Okay, so Paul, you're screaming down to mom, and how are you screaming? Can you put me in that spot with you?
Yeah, sure. Just kneeling kind of over the edge, like one hand on the edge, one hand on my mouth, just screaming, "Mom, Mom, can you hear me? We're up here now. Like there are other people up here," like waving to try to get her attention. And then after realizing that I don't think I'm getting her attention, I think I'm either too far away or, I'm not really thinking about like my mom needing a self-care moment. So my assumption is that she's too far away that I can that I can reach her, or for me to reach her. So I like lean back and sort of just like slump down on the ground and say, "I don't think she can hear us. Oh, wait, well, how did you two get up here? Did you climb like me? I had to use these gardening gloves to get a grip on the table. What did you guys do?"
That's smart. I just used my gym clothes. It was like kind of a little kind of rope sash thing.
He carried me up here. He's super strong. We wrapped a towel around the leg and used the tension to get up here. Maybe we could toss the towel down for your mom and she could do it that way. Does she have slippery shoes on?
If I recall,
No, she doesn't have slippery shoes on. She's wearing her non-stick shoes that she wears to the diner.
Yes.
Forget for sure. Now all we need is a way for her to get up.
If we throw the towel down, then she'll see it.
I think when we asked last time, there were like some wires or something on the table we could lower down for her. If that was,
yep.
I think we talked about that. So I think
that's right. Yeah.
Bobby's gonna like go and try to like unplug one of like the bigger wires or cables and like just starts lowering down some Cat 5 cable and is like, this seems pretty solid. And this big old like thick rope effectively just going down the table.
Bobby, you're
This
so
is a great
smart.
idea. All right, I help him sort of like grab the cable and like weave it down. I need something to get her attention though. And I reach into my bag and I find let's see, what do I have in here that I could happily part with? Or I can just be prepared and have something like rocks that I picked up on a walk that I took.
Oh God.
Pocket rocks.
Yep.
While you are searching through your bag,
rocks too?
anybody who is going to help move the cables around, because the cables are not thin. They look very large to you. They are probably as wide as your torso. They're very big. So whoever is going, go ahead, boss.
Oh, I was just going to say, are they the ones that are like really wide but kind of like narrow? Those sorts of cables. You know what I'm talking about?
Like they're
like
what were you
cables?
using, Sammy? Were you using the flat cable for your project? Were you using the ones that plug in on the extension box and they're plugged in with their prongs?
I think there's a couple different ones actually, because it's what we had at the house. And
we're latchkey kids, so parents aren't running down to Walmart to get me supplies.
She took apart a radio for parts of this. It was kind of cool.
There's some phone wire stuff here that might be smaller, but if we can find the firewire cable that connects the main conduit brain of the machine to the rest of it, that not only is that a little flatter, but it actually has a weave to it. So your mom might be able to actually like put her hands and grab and pull her way up a little bit better.
Very
Huh,
nice.
that's a great idea. Let's
So
get
it
that
should
one.
be look
That's
for a thing that looks like an open circuit board, um, with Hello Kitty band-aids stuck to the sides.
I know what Hello Kitty is. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Go look for that.
Whoever's
I
going to be removing cables and pulling things off the board or trying to shimmy them down to Rhonda, I need you to all roll a bronze.
Hell
Roll for
yeah.
me, and your difficulty level is going to be a 10.
Right now. 15.
Hell yeah.
Great, that's epic.
exploding die 4,
4.
Oh,
5, 6.
Oh shit.
that's epic.
Oh, that's still not. And I'm gonna use 2 adversity tokens to put it to an. You said it was an 8.
It's a 10.
10.
It's a 10. I'm okay. No, then
Hold on
But
to
hold
those.
on.
we're
But
gonna
hold
hold
on. You can, there's 2 of you, or maybe 3 of you if Paul's going to be chunking things around. So it's a group effort. So I think that if Bobby, if you're willing to take on the brunt of the work, I think that the 3 of you could effectively, if you work it out, can, I think, figure it out, the 3 of you. So Sammy,
Yeah.
I think you're good. Paul, did you roll?
I did. I rolled a 7 plus 1 is 8.
Okay. So Bobby, how do you deal with this as you see them struggling a little bit and you are like, yeah, jock?
Honestly, I start thinking about what Coach said. Like as I got this big old wire that I'm dragging, I'm thinking to myself, like, can't quit. Quitting's for quitters, And he yells that all the time, and it's
It
real
is
simple. It
indeed.
makes a lot of sense, and it just kind
Oh.
of digs deep. And he, even, with his legs just burning and like just the discomfort on his shoulders as he's trying to like just drag this thing, kind of helps to push it the final bit, and then is just like, just sits down and it's like, oh, it's kind of heavy. Gonna need a second.
Bobby, you are so strong. Are you thirsty? High five.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
thirsty? Because I have some Capri Suns in my bag if you need.
I would love a Capri Sun. Yeah, that sounds great.
And I've got some trail mix.
Awesome. You replenish that, and we're gonna make sure we're gonna push it off the edge now that you've got it dragged over here. We can
Great.
roll it off the edge.
Now, let me drop some of these rocks down and try not to hit my mom, but try to get her attention so she knows to be ready.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Ooh.
So I reach into my bag and I scrounge around for like some random pebbles and rocks and like cool looking rocks that I gathered on my last. Oh, I think we lost Michael.
Oh no.
No, he's back.
There he is.
Sorry.
Rhonda, roll flight as these pebbles are coming down towards you. Do you see them? Do you hear them? Do they pop you in the head or the shoulder?
Rondo, you're muted.
That's a 1.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How many rocks did you throw, Paul?
I was gonna say 2.
How big
That's
are
what I
they?
just mimed. Oh, I mean,
How
I
big
know,
were
about-
they in normal size?
like just I don't know, like a small, like a smaller than a plum.
Okay, so they're like a plum-sized pebble. Rhonda, there are pebbles. There are things falling from the sky, and one hits you on the shoulder as you are. Have you put out your cigarette yet? Or are you finishing it?
She is, I think by now she's probably done with it. She flicks it away and looks out at the is still staring out and gets nailed in the shoulder. She's gonna look around on her level to see if there's anybody around. first, and then she'll look up because she's not used to being small yet. So she's gonna like look around see if anybody's near her. She's like, oh god. Yeah, but then I can look up for sure.
Yeah, and you can see your shrunken son waving like the scout he is up at the top of the table, and you see two other hands flailing around by him. They're trying to get your attention, Rhonda.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Is the cable down?
Not
Has
yet.
it landed? Not yet.
We didn't push it yet. We're getting your attention.
Slowly, it's slowly like dripping over the edge and just kind of dangling at the moment.
I am afraid to like walk out farther into the cafeterium that we're in, because just to see, I'm gonna like scurry out a little bit and like wave and then scurry back in like a mouse. Yeah.
Hey, I think I saw her. I think she knows that we're up here. Come on, let's lower the cable.
I'm gonna help push.
Ugh.
Ugh. I'm gonna turn and pull. I'm gonna grab the fibers and pull.
And I'm going to say, as you guys are beginning to lower this cable down, I think we should get another flip. What do you think, Alicia?
Go for it.
Okay.
I've just been waiting. The scene's been great, but
Hey, it's okay. That is
Hey.
me. So I will take over. So as the cable begins to lower down, Rhonda, you see it coming towards you, but you're starting to feel the rumbles of the floor once again under your feet, kind of shake, and it's ramping up your nervousness a little bit. I will say that the cable finally does make its way to you. It's the end of the cord kind of like flops down on the ground, and now the cable is right next to the table leg. And I'm going to start with Rhonda first this round. So
Sure.
She's the active member. So what would you like to do as this cord kind of flops down next to you?
I think she's gonna go stand on the on it as if it was like a crane. Stand on the fat part, and then she's gonna give 2 tugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're aiming for is that Rhonda is wanting the 3 of you to pull her adult body and this giant cord back up. She's not going to attempt to help you guys. So no, it's okay. No, this is great. So you feel 2 tugs. Paul, as a scout, this is the signal. 2 tugs. So what I'm going to say is, once again, we are going to roll a strength check for the 3 of you. And oh yes, Paul, were you going to say something?
No, just nervous.
Oh, okay.
Braun's not good for me.
Cool. Yeah, sorry, I meant Braun. So actually, I will give you the choice of rolling Brawn or Grit. Because I think there's a difference between pulling and making sure that the cable doesn't slide further down. Yes. So whatever you decide, you tell me why you're deciding on that, and I'll allow it. And what we'll do is whoever goes first it's a 10, and if you succeed, we're going to lower the difficulty further and further down.
Okay. Well, if
So
that's
who
the
wants
case,
to go first?
I'll say if that's the case, are you good with Bobby going first? Because Bobby's Shrunk. That's kind of his whole deal.
Yeah.
I think Bobby takes the end of the cable and kind of like wraps it halfway around his torso so he can kind of be the anchor. And then just starts to like slowly walk backwards with this like giant rope cable in hand. He's like, all right, it's slow and steady, I guess. And starts moving backwards. And that's a 17.
A 17, great.
Yeah.
So Rhonda, you begin to lift off the ground, and you are now what we would say is probably about 10, 15, maybe 20 feet as you begin to slowly rise up into the sky. But in actuality, you're just a couple of inches off the ground. But
Inch my way up.
yeah. So we will, since that's a success, I'm going to drop it down to 2. So I'm going to drop it down 2. So it is now an 8. Who would like to go next?
I will
Rhonda,
go
you can jump in on
next.
this if you feel
I'll go
you can help.
next.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go for grit. Because Sammy knows she's not the strongest here and she's little, but she can do some physics calculations, which is something that she is skilled at. I'm gonna get behind Bobby, and when any time that he's readjusting his weight, or like when he's done a big pull and lost a little energy, I'm grabbing behind him and I'm just sitting down. I'm using my weight to kind of give him a moment of slack.
You're anchoring the anchor. I like
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to say that's
Mhm.
grit. And because my special skill is physics calculations, that's a +3 to my roll. And you
Wow.
said,
That's
what
epic.
I'm so excited. Rolling my D10. What am I going for?
You're trying
An
to
8.
beat an 8.
Another exploding dice. So that's already a 10.
Heck yeah.
Great.
But 13
Congratulations.
with my +3. So that's an 18.
Woo.
An 18
Woohoo!
total. So you know, as you're seeing your brother, just like this hulking mass, just like, like he's on a football field training, you start seeing all these numbers kind of float around in your head. You start seeing like angles and trigonometry and this, that, and the other. So exactly. So as soon as he begins to like slip, the proper time to kind of like grab his belt, the angle to put your legs at, and you're able to stabilize him as he's able to re-grip the rope once again and continue his pull forward. You guys are working great together. And in fact, you start moving faster, Rhonda. It was kind of like, and now you're kind of like at a steady pace moving up. You're still dangling high above the floor at this moment. We'll drop it to a 6.
Sammy, I'm not sure what you're doing back there, but it's working great, so please keep it up.
I'm doing math and it's marvelous.
You can lift things with math? God, that seems a lot easier.
You can do anything with math.
Keep that in mind.
Rhonda and Paul, how would you like to handle this situation?
Now that she's getting closer, I'm going to try to yell to her again and say, Mom, you're almost there. Hold on tight. We're going to give you one one last tug. And I like grab hold and I'm going to make a brawn roll. And I'm going to support by giving it a little extra tug from the front.
Okay.
Not good. Okay. 2 plus, I have a +1 in brawn, weirdly. So yeah. Just a 2 plus a 1 is a 3. But you needed a 6, right? Yeah.
I did need a 6.
Wait, we all have tokens.
What is your?
Well, you two are already working. Rhonda can help, or
Yeah.
we can choose to fail. Those are our two options, because Rhonda still has a chance to finish the job if we want. So what would you like to do, Paul? I'll leave it to you. Do you want to? Or Rhonda, I'll leave it to you too. Do you want help, or do you want to fail? Get your adversity token, and Rhonda now has to beat an 8 because she begins to backslide. Those are your two options.
I will shout out for Paul to remember. I'm gonna go, Paul, remember your sailing badge. And I'm gonna throw a adversity. Remember. Yeah, and throw an adversity token Paul's way, which is a +2 from me. I need to stop going back and forth. So you get a +2 to this.
So you now are currently sitting at a 5.
So and with my mother's inspiration, reminding me of the knot tying skills I learned last summer. Yep. I uh, I I like hoist the in a sudden burst of strength, I spend an adversity token to get me up to 6, and I like lift this cable up over my shoulder and like turn around and like pull back and like just use my strength and the ways I learned how to pull those ropes on that sailing boat.
Okay, so Rhonda, you are now approaching the edge of the table. This is a long way down. Because everyone has succeeded, and with your choice to help him, spending your adversity token, you now have a 4 for your chance to get over the edge of the table. So, how would you like to do that? And I'll tell you what you should roll. You want to take a leap for a dexterity? Do you want to climb up the rope for a brawn? What would you like to do?
Oof. I mean, brawn's okay. I mean, I would love to do grit. I don't know how I would do that. That would be just holding on tight and like letting them scrape my body up the side of it. I don't know what grit would be. It's like
I'm gonna make a judgment call and say grit is off the table.
Great. Then I'll do brawn. That's fine.
No.
I got brawn. It's a 4. I have to get a 4. Okay, so
You have to get a 4.
brawn is my 6, and I have no bonuses.
Okay.
That is a 5. So
Okay. So as you're approaching the edge, you feel the cord slowing to a halt. It feels like they're giving out. They're giving everything they can, and it's just not enough. And you start thinking of your jazzercise class, and you just start. You hear your coach saying, "You can do it. Push harder." And you see yourself, and you're like, "No, I can't. And they come over to you and they say, "Rhonda, push. You can do it. You gave birth. You can do this." And then you see the image of you like, "Yes, I can." And you go faster, and you become the last person standing in your jazzer class, and everybody is cheering for you. "Yay, Rhonda. Yay, Rhonda." And we cut back to the moment where you're like, "I can do this. I gave birth." And you begin to climb up the rope, and you climb over the edge, one hand, then the other, pulling yourself up, exhausted. Everyone's exhausted. You roll over on your back, sweating. Everyone is out of breath, and under Rhonda's breath, or in the back of her mind, she doesn't say this, but in the back of her mind, she's like, "I fucking gave birth."
Oh my god.
And just before I give this flip, I will say, as everyone's taking a moment, looking around, this is a proud moment. We're all together, all of us tiny people working together. The table wobbles and begins to shake. And above you, you see a giant figure of Principal Horn kind of looking over the room. You all notice that the room is now beginning to clear. People are packing up their boxes. Volcanoes are now being, like kids crying, walking out with volcanoes. There's 5 or 6 of them. And everyone's walking away. And Principal Horn's just looking around, hands on hips. And this booming voice comes out and kind of scares you a little bit, as the sound waves kind of ripple through your body. You feel it in your chest, and you're like, "Where is that Sawyer girl?" Principal Horn is looking for you, standing above your table. You have not packed up. You're just your item is just sitting here, and then they begin to kind of walk off. And suddenly above you, as you are looking at Principal Horn walking away, not noticing you laying on this table, a pair of giant hands reaches over and grabs your contraption and begins to lift. And as your your science fair project is being lifted into the air, we're going to get a flip because I don't know what's going to happen next. So
Oh my god.
I'm gonna leave everyone hanging,
Oh no!
giants above you at the moment.
The suspense.
I'm so stressed out.
Ooh, that is Alicia.
Oh.
Oh snap.
Whew. Okay. Principal Horn is that booming voice is nerve-wracking, and Sammy, in slow motion, these massive hands are coming into your prized science project, and cables start moving, and the very cable that y'all helped Rhonda get up from the floor with begins to just thrash around the table, and
Yes.
as it's being lifted up, it's as if there's this huge dark cloud hanging over the four of you. And Sammy, you can see your entire life's work just disappearing before you. What's going on in your head?
If it wasn't already bad enough that I got robbed at this science fair, now you're stealing my machine. This is the only way we're going to be able to get bigger, guys. What are we going to do? If we don't have the machine, then we're not going to be able to get bigger. We're going to be stuck here, and I can't fix anything. And if we don't have the machine, I don't know what to do.
I rush over and I say, "It's going to be okay, Sammy. It's going to be okay. We'll get it
Please don't
back."
touch me.
You just gotta
Okay,
breathe.
but just I'm sorry, Paul, but you please don't touch me. It's no, you're fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just
Deep breath, Sammy.
Sammy, it's going quicker, and Principal Horn now has it tucked up under his arm, and he is clod hopping his way outside. Principal Horn has your machine, and he goes out the double doors of the multi-purpose room, and there's this echoing slam as the door shuts, and it reverberates across the room, and you can see his head kind of bebopping out of those glass panes in the multi-purpose room where there's like 20 of them across and like 20 down, and it looks like a big checkerboard. And he kind of just like heaves over, and then he's gone. The project's gone. The cables are gone. Principal Horn is gone. And the lights have been turned off. You four are in the multi-purpose room by yourself in the dark. It's probably still some nice light coming in from the panes in the multi-purpose room, but it's just the four of you on this table in this massive multi-purpose room. Rhonda, you're the adult.
Uh-huh. She's on her
You're
back.
stuck with 3 kids.
She hasn't been up this entire time.
I think Bobby will offer up a hand to kind of help you up once you've taken a moment to catch your breath.
Oh, thank you. He said somebody said Sawyer. Who's hi, my name's Rhonda. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting today?
Oh, I'm Bobby Sawyer, and that's my sister, Sammy Sawyer.
Great.
When I turn around and look at Rhonda, I just freeze.
Paul walks over toward his mom and goes,
Yeah.
"Sammy Sawyer? I recognize that name. You were the person who checked out all the nature science books that I got from the library right before me on the library card. I wonder if I could ever meet you one day. Wow.
You wanted the nature science books from the library?
Yeah.
And this is your mom.
This is my mom.
Miss
Mom,
Rhonda
are you
is your
okay?
mom.
Yeah. Yes, I'm his mom. Yeah, I'm okay. Other than I look around. Is there anything else on this table? Did we just get pulled? I got pulled up here, and now we don't have a way down.
That would be correct.
Yeah.
I reach out of my backpack and I get the flashlight because you said it's dim light now, just to sort of illuminate things a little bit more.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, good thinking.
They
It
took
looks
my
like we're gonna
machine.
have to find another way out of here. And we gotta find your science experiment, Sammy.
They
What?
just they stole the science fair from me and the experiment and the Capri Sun, and now it's just I can't take it anymore.
And Sammy just turns around and walks away from everybody, just arms down by her side, stiff, fists, just stomps away a little bit and just stands there, her whole body rising and falling as she just kind of tries to breathe and mumbles to herself.
And they took the fair, and then of course it doesn't matter. Just take my experiment. It's not yours.
Just
That's it.
give her a second.
Yeah, that's generally what you have to do with the Sawyers. You give them a minute to think, and then they come back most of the time.
With the Sawyers, you sound like you have experience with that, Mom.
You know, they. I mean, you're. I'm sorry. How old are you, Robert?
I'm 16.
Oh, me
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
His name is
right.
Bobby.
And your father is. I mean,
Thank you, Sam.
is Robert Sawyer, correct?
Yeah, that's my dad. He's owns Sawyer's Automotive, or Sawyer's and Sons Automotive, I guess. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Do you know my dad?
I mean, yes, of course I do. Everybody knows your dad, and like she points on the over to the wall of the multi-purpose room, and there is a huge picture, like a state picture of the football, and like his dad is absolutely the quarterback, and he's like his jersey is retired and shit like that, and I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
everybody knows who your dad is. Everybody.
That's a really good whole display over there. Yeah.
Yeah. You look just like him. That's good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. He always did have the looks. He had that dimple in the chin thing. Many hearts will you win, right? That's how it goes.
That's the hope, I guess. Yeah.
I guess,
Anyway.
Mom.
What? Anyway, Robert,
I do like Bobby better.
I need to sit back down.
Rhonda, you have just spilled a bit of history to the kids with not a lot of context. And Bobby, you seem to be a bit taken aback by how this stranger is addressing your father and maybe his historical significance here at Buxley High and Buxley Middle School. Sammy, I want to touch back with you. And how do you know Miss Rhonda?
Sammy has met Rhonda at a Junebug meeting, I believe it was. The local ladies in Buxley, the PTA moms have formed a community group that, much like MAD and that sort of thing, they really have their, neighborhood watch and MAD and all of that. It's just kind of this combo. And Rhonda, I guess, is trying to get into the Junebugs, which our mom, Bobby and my mom, is a Junebug, of course.
Could she not be?
Yeah,
Of course.
and at this Junebug meeting,
It's that serious. It is. She took my Capri Sun.
and actually, Sammy is she's while Rhonda was chatting with Bobby, Sammy sat down, pulled out her paper and her colored pencils from her backpack, and has been writing notes, just trying to kind of make a plan while kind of mumbling things like,
First you rock the science fair, and of course she took my Capri Sun. You just don't take somebody's drink. But we have these steps that we have to get this done. So I think I have a plan. Well, I have a plan. I don't think I have a plan. We have to get off this table and we have to get to my project. That's step 1, part A and B is get off the table, and part B is get to my project. Because step 2 is once we get my machine, we have to investigate my machine, and we have to figure out what went wrong because somebody messed with it and something happened. Because my machine works and this shouldn't have happened. It's cool. I mean, I'm gonna be famous, but that's a whole nother. I'm gonna work for NASA, but that's not gonna happen if we don't get my machine and get back to big size.
There it is.
So I have an idea,
Number 2.
but it's gonna require a few things. Is there any paper or like napkins or anything on this table? Anything up here? Um,
Like normal size
yeah,
or
like big
or
size.
oh, big
Does anybody
size.
see?
I guess Paul and I can go take a look around, right? This is dark. There's a lot of table to explore.
Yeah, sure. I've got the light.
Yeah, that's gonna help because I got the not light. I didn't think it'd be shrunk today, so I wasn't really. You're so prepared, and that's great.
I just want to clarify. You're not looking for like a sheet of paper to write something on. You want like a sheet of paper that's like bigger than you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So my
Okay.
my end goal, guy, everyone. I think we can make one of two things. We could either make a large parachute and try and glide our way down and out of here, or
Oh,
if we really want to get crazy, we could try to make a paper plane. But all of this really depends on what we can find on the table. We can't really make a paper plane if there's napkins up here. So if like maybe a piece of paper slipped off of a project or out of somebody's bag or somebody left napkins on the table, but we got to find materials to work with.
Alicia, is there a paper up here? I don't know.
We're on it.
While the multi-purpose room is being cleaned up, the only person who came near Sawyer, the Sawyer table, as we're going to call it, Sammy, as you had your display picked up, the only thing I will give you some agency when you made your presentation, Sammy. Would you have had any kind of paper towel near a bunch of cables that could catch on fire? You're the scientist, and would you have done that?
No, I would
Then
not
there's
have.
nothing. There's nothing
Yeah.
there. If Sammy would not have prepped the table to have other things out, then I will say no, knowing Sammy and she not wanting to have things possibly catch on fire because she's a perfectionist. There would not be paper towels on the table, and there would be nothing left over, as she would have been very controlled and concise of how her in the way that her project was put together. So there's nothing on this table. It is the four of you and the items in your bags. And with that, we're gonna get a flip.
if I may.
What were you gonna say, Paul?
Oh, good.
Or no, so I was gonna interject too, but I was just gonna let it go. But I was gonna
No, go
say,
for it.
I was like, maybe is there like a little like name card or something like that, or anything that's like Sammy Sawyer that like is like a little A-shaped paper card that has like her name on it for that went through the thing. But if somebody already came by and like cleared up the whole table, like that can be
Table
the
number.
answer.
So I was gonna have something similar. If any pages flew out of the Trapper Keeper when she kicked it across the floor earlier, if they just happened to be like
It might
around
be on the
somewhere.
floor.
Yeah, it's something.
So glad that I came up
Okay.
here.
So
Yes.
so it is Alicia again, but
Okay.
I'm gonna use my steal. I'm gonna steal.
Okay.
Dun.
So as everyone is kind of like looking around on this table, like, oh, maybe we left a sheet of paper. No. The boys kind of went off to search while a brooding little 7-year-old is like still trying to make a plan and like eyeing Rhonda. I'm gonna go to the boys as you're looking around, you're scouring the dim room. You look up, it's still mid-afternoon at this point, and so the lights are still coming through the windows, but it is dark in the room, so you're scouring at this moment. I'm going to give you guys a moment to either chat or maybe try to come up with some plan yourself, so I'll allow you to.
Yeah. Yeah, Robert. What's up?
No. Sorry, the boys,
Oh, the boy.
not Rhonda. The
Oh,
girls
sorry.
are the
I'm
girls are chill.
sorry. I'll mute. Sorry. I'm playing a female.
Paul, Paul and Bobby.
Sorry.
Oh, man, it looks like Principal Horn just really cleaned things up here. It doesn't look like that we're finding much.
Yeah, it's that's weird because usually this place is a mess, but I guess they really did a good once over on this place after today. Hey, are you wearing like your uniform or any of your badges by chance? I can't
Well,
remember.
of course
Okay,
I'm wearing my badges.
okay. Uh, yeah, we might not find much out here, which is it's gonna be a problem. But hey, I've been thinking about it for a minute, man, because I know I've seen you around a couple times. I just wanted to ask, like, what's up with the badges?
Oh, you mean these badges?
Yeah, they're really cool looking. I just like I don't. What do you do with them?
Oh, thanks. Usually, people think they're all that cool. They're Boy Scout badges. You know, I earned them because I learned all these different skills and achieved different things. And so I wear these badges to prove it.
Oh, that's awesome. Is there like a he kind of laughs. There's like a we got shrunk and now we're kind of stuck badge that you have. Like, is that too specific?
I wish.
Uh,
No, but maybe something else could come in handy. I feel like I've used more wilderness skills in the last 30 minutes than I have in the last month.
So as you guys are kind of getting to know one another, this awkward, like we're two very different people trying to get one another. You do see the door to the lunchroom, the multi-purpose room opens up, and in walks someone pushing a trash can that's got a mop and a broom and stuff like that. And you see he leans over. He's an older gentleman with just a beautiful mustache, and he's got his cap on, and he's got a Walkman on, and he throws the headphones on, and he presses play, and then he's kind of like doing a little jig, kind of whistling and pushing the bucket into the room, pulls out the broom and begins kind of sweeping it as the trash can kind of rolls to a halt near the table that you're at currently. And as you're seeing this, I'm going to cut over to the ladies real quick, and then we'll come back. So ladies, before that moment happens, a brood, you're trying to, Rhonda, you're trying to take a moment to center yourself. You just climbed up what was a cliff to you, and a brooding 7-year-old who's just kind of like sitting by herself over, like, in the middle of the table.
You stuck your tongue out at me. You mumble a lot when you make notes. Did you know that?
What? Huh? Yeah, making notes. We have to. Something. It had to have been something with the power source. That's the only thing because I saw that one teacher over by the electrical box, but I know my machine works. So, are you familiar with um Bose's constant, or are you good with electrical stuff?
I think I missed that class in college. Why?
Okay.
Jesus.
Maybe you would be more help with the boys and figuring out a way for us to get off this table because I'm trying to come up with possibilities for what happened in the machine and how we got in this place in the first place, because if we're
Sure.
ever going to get big again, I'm going to have to
Mhm.
fix it because it's my machine and somebody messed with it, and it's
Right.
mine and someone messed with it. So if you
Does-
don't if you're not really familiar with Bose's constant or any sort of electrical wiring work, then I don't really see how you're going to be of any use over here.
Did you know that the circuit breaker? That's where Paul and I were, and it
Did you see anything?
it kind of like blew up in this blue bubble kind of thing. And that's how it happened. So it was a circuit breaker. I wasn't over there. I saw all of it happening, and I just
Can you
tore
describe
across.
the blue bubble? What do you mean by blue bubble?
And just before she's able to explain the blue bubble, you're finally interested in what she has to say. The door swings open, and this gentleman, Walkman on, begins to walk in the room, and pushing the trash can near-ish to you, mops, brooms, things dangling, rags hanging out, ready to clean up the lunchroom. That's what's happening. We're going to come back to the gentleman really quickly. Boom, this is all happening very quickly. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys doing?
I think we got a way down.
Yeah, maybe if we can get that custodian's attention, maybe he can come and lift us off the table if he's not so freaked out he faints.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Do you think try your light? Try your light.
I start like flipping my flashlight. I like start like waving it in the air and then like flipping it on and off, and then turning it on, and waving it in the air, and
Yeah,
trying to send a little like message.
Sure. I use a brains roll. This is going to be tough. This is going to be a 15 in order to get his attention.
Wow.
This is a tiny little light.
And I rolled a 16 on my d20.
Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice. So as he's kind of walking and sweeping, something kind of glints out of the corner of his eye, and he looks over, and it just kind of looks like this light is shining down and reflecting on something, and he kind of sees what appear to be these little like figurines or something on this table, and he looks down and he sees it like a flash for a moment, and he's like, because his headphones are in, he's just like, damn kids. And it's this loud because he yells it, just ear-shattering noise as you all grip, everyone on the table grips their heads, and grips their ears rather. He pulls out a cloth from his back pocket, and begins to swing it around. He cups his hand and begins to sweep the entire table, as he thinks these are just like toys or something that have just been left on the table. And that, as the hand sweeps by the camera, there is a blackout. And we are gonna pause there for this session, or for this portion of the session. We are gonna take a really quick break, and we are gonna come right back into the action as Janitor is sweeping you all away.
So suspenseful.
I can't wait to find that.
Suspenseful. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Seems
So
fine.
we'll be back in like 5 or 10 minutes. Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Hello, part-timers, and welcome back. We just left off. We're in the middle of a very strenuous situation where our two boys have flagged down, or what they think they've done is flagged down a giant, an adult, a real-sized person. But through circumstance, they may be getting swept into a trash can. We don't know yet. We're about to find out. We'll just jump into it because we don't have a lot of time left. So I'm, without further ado, going to get our first flip, and we're going to get into it. Everybody ready? Alicia, are you ready?
Yeah.
So ready.
Take a sip. Get ready because it's going to be. Oh, it's going to be me. Perfect.
Hey.
But you're welcome to steal.
No, please, no.
Ow.
I want to know
Okay.
what you and this blackout looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. So where we immediately left off, Paul, you were SOS, shining your flashlight, and it kind of like subtly got the attention of this janitor who has noticed you. And for a split second, you and Paul have this like feeling of relief. Someone has finally acknowledged you. And then with his booming voice, you just hear, "Damn kids," as he shakes his head. He pulls out a cloth from his back as he begins from his back pocket as he begins to spin it around. He grasps it in his hand and it slams down on the table. Everyone feels the table begin to shift and sway, and this white dirty cloth begins sliding across the table. I'm gonna throw you guys in because the boys are the ones flagging down. We're gonna jump to you guys immediately. So
Okay.
Paul,
Yeah.
boom, the table shifts. What are you doing? What are you thinking? What's gonna happen?
I am not just gonna wait to get like slammed up against that like disgusting, wiping cloth. So I'm gonna start running, and I'm sure he'll catch up with me. But I'm gonna start like running back toward Mom and Sammy, toward the other side of the table.
Mhm.
So I'm from his perspective. I imagine it will look like whatever's on the table's scurrying away, which may change his attitude about what he thinks this is.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start running.
Okay, so are you trying to run to avoid the cloth or run to get the attention of the ladies?
Can it be both?
What is your it is both. What is your focus?
Oh, my focus is to get out of the way of the rags.
Okay, so then I want you to roll flight at a
Okay.
15.
Light at a 15. Youch.
Okay.
Okay, that is my D6, so I'm going to fail.
Unless it
Explode.
Unless
explodes.
it explodes.
Exploding dice. Exploding dice.
Exploding
dice.
dice.
Here we go.
Exploding
That's a
dice.
3. No,
Boom.
3.
Okay.
But I do. No, I don't have any bonuses in that, so it's just a 3.
Okay. So as you begin to run, you are also trying to get their attention, but as your arms raise up into the air, you stumble over your own feet and kind of fall down to your knees. Bobby, this thing is sweeping towards you. Paul begins to run towards the ladies and he falls to his knees. What are you doing?
Bobby goes to take off as well and just yells, "We gotta run!" And then like looks kind of back and sees Paul like stagger a bit and is like,
Mhm.
looks that way, looks towards Sammy, looks towards Paul and is like, "Shit!" and like grabs Paul and tries to like haul him to his feet out of the way as much as possible.
Amazing. I'm going to say bringing Paul up to his feet is a grit roll, we'll say.
Grit?
Well,
All right.
I want you to roll grit. Paul, I want you to roll another flight. Both of them are going to be pretty simple at a 5. But this is
Okay.
you getting back up to your feet, and this is him helping you get up and get running once again.
Love it. Damn.
Okay.
2.
I rolled a 3, but does this
Okay.
count as protecting a friend?
It does.
Then that is a
Oh.
6.
Amazing.
Because I have protective.
Amazing.
I'm
So,
defending a friend.
Paul, once again, you panicked. You begin to scramble to your feet, but like a scared lady in a horror movie, you once again fall back to your legs, and you turn and you look at this big white cloth that is now coming towards you. You can see the dust bunnies that are hanging off of it, and bits of crumb. You feel it about to wash over you, and then you feel this hand on your back grab you and pull you to your feet, and standing next to you is Bobby with this like encouraging look. And what do you say, Bobby?
Getting you to your feet, kind of grabbing like your backpack. It's probably really uncomfortable. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Come on, we gotta go.
And the two of you begin hauling ass away from this thing. We cut to the ladies who have felt the table shift and shake and look as your brother and your son are now fleeing from this giant hand and cloth that are sweeping across the table.
Smarty Pants, what do we do? She's gonna
We have to run tangential to the arc of the hand.
And
okay.
I'm gonna try
Nerd.
because
Got it.
as the hand is
Got it.
sweeping,
Uh-huh.
it's going to move further away from him, further away from the
Okay.
custodian. So I'm gonna signal them to run, try and signal them to run toward him to get out of the
Okay.
way rather than trying to run away from it as it's catching up. So I'm gonna
you want me to run this direction and have them come to me? Okay.
Yes, run that way. Get him.
and I'm gonna scoop up my
Sure.
my pencils and my little pencil box and my papers and shove them in my bag as I follow along behind her.
Sure. So I'm just wanting to clarify, you're telling her to run like towards the elbow of the sweeping hand, correct?
Directly towards the custodian, yeah, because
Got it.
he's
Okay.
gonna
Well,
sweep this way. It's gonna create an arc, and we're actually going to get out of
Right.
the way faster. You run
So,
perpendicular
mhm,
to the falling rocks, not just
great.
in the direction they're going.
So I was going to continue this with a 15, but this is because you are making this plan using physics. You can use your physics skill to help you out.
Yeah.
That's going to be a brains roll for you, and
Frick
for
yeah.
the Jazzercise Queen. With you're going to use flight, but remember your son is in danger.
yeah.
You get a bonus to that, correct?
No, I don't get a bonus to
Oh,
that.
I will say that you do. I will say that you
okay.
do.
That's
It's
like
going
kind of
to it's
the
going to lower it
adult
to a
thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because I will say that it's a 13 for you. Still a 15 for Sammy.
She's gonna run and she's gonna be like, over here. She's gonna be like, this is why I taught you to be able to take care of yourself. That's a 4. Okay, exploding.
It's awesome.
Okay.
And a 3, so it's a 7.
Okay, a 7. Okay. So we'll hold there for a second.
Sure.
My brains are a D20 and I have a +3 because
Mhm.
we're using physics, so that's a 7.
Great.
That's a
Okay.
bad roll.
So
Sorry.
no, this is great. So your calculations have told you to run towards the guy. She trusts you immediately, begins to sprint. However, running directly towards the body is actually the direction that he is going to now turn his hand and sweep it towards him, as the trash can is right in front of him. So so as the cloth is now turning, it is on the heels of these gentlemen, and you are running directly into the now oncoming wave of
Oh, no.
cloth and dirt and dust bunnies. And we're going to get a flip as this thing is
Sure.
like about to overwhelm the entire party as they collide.
Ooh-wee.
No.
All right, that is Alicia.
Woo! Y'all, as this big janitorial hand is coming down and it's made this. Sam, your calculation may have been correct if he, was thinking. He's just trying to get out of here quickly, and his boombox in his ears is blasting probably some like brandy's like locked up in my closet or something from 1994.
Brandy?
And don't judge. That's what I would
No,
do.
Brandy was my first. The self-titled Brandy album was my first CD I ever owned.
So
Nice.
this hand has now turned and is coming towards you. And he does one of those mom things when you're at the burger joint and is starting to curve his hand and it makes a little pocket. And he's right behind y'all and he starts to scoop and do the whole like scoop across the table thing to get the toys and crumbs off the table. And Sammy and Rhonda, unfortunately, the janitor has begun to scoop you into his hand as you have been running perpendicular to the new shift of where his hand is. I need you both to roll a flight, and it's gonna be a 12.
That is a 7, a dirty 7.
Come on, Rhonda. 2.
Oof.
See, this is why I don't like people. They're in constant variables that you can't account for.
The sound, Rhonda, the sound is getting louder and louder and louder. And Sammy, you can feel the table start shaking. And then there's this big thud against the edge of the table and it starts to shake you. And you both kind of fall down to your knees. And the janitor scoops you into a very large hole. And you begin to fall. Boys, the hand, you don't see them because they were running perpendicular to the hand, but he starts scooping things into what you would assume to be the trash bin. There's no mom. There's no Sammy. There's just the hand and a very loud janitor singing. What?
Brandy.
Locked up in my room. He is screaming at the top of his lungs, locked up in my room, while he is thumping his hand on the table and doing the mom scoop.
All right. So
Boys.
if I understand the situation correctly, so he's scooping them up. We can't see them anymore because it looks like they've already gotten scooped up, and now we're like, oh crap, they're in his hands, and this is about to get really bad.
100%.
Oh man!
Oh,
All right.
no.
I look at Paul. And I'm like, we gotta get him.
We gotta stick
We
together.
gotta get him. All right. Rescue family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Rescue family. We probably didn't have time for that. Let's go.
We rush towards the edge of the table. My instinct would try to get scooped up too, to at the very least be to stay together with them, so we're not like indefinitely separated or have to like rescue them from a trash bag or something like that. So I wanna go and sort of like make myself obviously known to this guy so he can sweep me up too.
Okay. Can you tell me how you're going to try and get the janitor's attention? What are you going to do to
The same way I did
get
before. I'm gonna
underneath
turn my flashlight back on, and I'm gonna run back. So as he's like getting the sweeping these things up, I'm running across the table, and as I do, I pull my flashlight back out and switch it on and flash the light to try to grab his attention again in hopes that he'll sweep me up.
I do not remember what your roll was. Is it brains? Is that what the
It
original
was
roll
brains.
was?
Yeah.
Brains at 15. So you've succeeded one. So roll again, brains. We're going to knock it down since you've already been successful. I'm going to make it a 10. I know that may be a little too easy, but you have captured and captivated him with your little light once before.
Captivated is a great word.
Captivated him.
All right. So it is an 11, which is great.
It's awesome.
So you do get his attention.
I get his attention.
Yeah. So as you are flicking, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna make a possible suggestion of like the fact that he doesn't realize these are people is like, you know how glitter kind of like makes that little
Yes,
shiny.
that's where I was going.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So as you are flicking, are you flicking SOS this time? Are you shaking it? What are you
No.
doing?
No, I think I'm just I've flipped it on and I'm waving my arms around. I don't think I'm in the chaos of the moment. I don't think I'm clever enough to or like tuned in enough to try to Morse code this time. But
Sure.
for now,
Okay.
I'm just sort of waving the light to get his attention. Flash, like
Sure.
just
As you
flashing
are
the light.
shaking, you're shaking this light around, and as he's scooping things up, it's as if he's hit something on the table that is illuminating and capturing light, and like it's getting him in the eye. And every time he moves his hand, it's just like this little bright, shiny light, and he just screams in his low, muffled loudness, I don't have kids. I don't do crafts. And there's always glitter. And he's like aggressively trying to get the glitter off. And he grabs his hand and just both hands scoops all the trashy looking dirt into the trash can. And the two of you, Bobby and Paul, you get like crutched in his elbow. And he just kind of scoops you into the table, like to the edge of the table. And Paul, you see the edge of the table and your scout brain kicks in and you know that this is going to be bad. But you begin to cascade over the edge of the table. Bobby, what's going on in your head?
Bobby did not think this far ahead. So he's at the point where it's like, I got to rescue Sammy. I got to make sure everyone's okay. And did not consider, because he's still in his weird shrunken form, the incredible height that is this table and this drop to the trash can. And as that quickly becomes a reality for him, he straight up has a panic attack because he is afraid of heights.
Oh,
Right.
And so he's like,
Oh no.
oh shit, I'm going to do the equivalent of like base jumping right now. And that never crossed my mind. You know? So he just starts hyperventilating and like freaking out a bit. Kind of like digging his feet into the like, you know, table for like whatever good it does to be like, no.
Paul, what's
Yes.
going on in your head as you're beginning to fall into this very large bin?
Very frightened. But it's also exhilarating. You know what I mean? Like this whole experience is rather surreal. So it's terrifying, of course, but I think I'm going to, as I'm in scout mode, as I'm flying into this bin, what kind of stuff do I see anything in the bin? Is there anything that's soft? Is it paper towels? Is it like puke because somebody ate too much like cookies and lemonade? Like, is it what am I seeing in this trash can?
Oh man, I could get real gross, but I will be so nice to you. He's been cleaning
Thank
up.
you.
He's been cleaning up Saturday at the middle school. So
Right, it's the weekend,
there
right.
is a couple banana peels. There is a white McDonald's bag with the golden arches that says over 1 million sold on it. There is a box of nerds that have been squished up. There's some rancid smells coming from the trash as you are falling into it. There's also a Subway sandwich wrapper in there. What looks like there might be some food in it. There is some drinks of all types. There's probably a Fanta or two in there, or a Fruitalicious, whatever was in your cafeteria at the time. And it's a lot of kids' snacks. The free milk that was given away. There
Tons
are
of free milk
cartons.
cartons.
There are lots of cartons of milk in there. Some of them are not open. Some of them are spilling out, and you can see the soppiness that the white milk and the chocolate milk and the strawberry milk are making, the plain milk, all the milks. I said milk 4 times.
It's okay.
So
There
much
was milk.
milk in there, lots of it. And whatever you see right now, and what is that? What is the first item you see?
Oh, oh boy. Uh, you gave me the option to say what I see first. I see my mom and Sammy.
Okay. Sammy, you are almost to the bottom. You haven't hit the ground yet, but you are falling at a very, 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 very high speed. What is going through your little scientific brain right now?
Um, I think Sammy's starting to lose her grip a little bit at this point because like none of this should be happening. None of this is supposed to be happening. Her stuff keeps getting stolen, and now we're going in the gross, disgusting trash can, and Sammy is horrified at the idea of her hands being like muddy or sticky or sandy or gross. So this is just full on. She's looking around to see if there's like anything to grab onto, any way to prevent being mired in the detritus below.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Rhonda,
Yep. Yeah.
you are right behind her.
Yes. Rhonda is she is attempting to replay Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves, how they trained Keanu Reeves to skydive in Point Break. So she's going point break, point break, point break, point break, and so she's trying to slow herself down like they would on the as a skydiver. She doesn't know what she's doing, but she's trying to do that. That's all she can do, like, because she has to try to survive for Paul, but that's all I can do is slow down. I mean, yeah. That's what I'm doing, and it's I just like I have to focus on that because if I hit the ground and I die and there's nothing I can do. Point break, point break, point break.
Patrick Swayze, super hot. Look at those abs.
It's God. Oh, it was great in Roadhouse, and I'm just sitting there going through that in my head as I'm trying not to focus on plummeting to my death so that I can get up from whatever I land on, hopefully doesn't kill me, and I can be alive for my son at some point.
Mm-hmm.
As you are, all four of you are experience this into your free fall into this trash bin that is full of science fair gross food and trash and milk cartons. Each of you hit about, Sammy and Rhonda, you hit about 5 seconds behind one another. Boys, you're coming in after they've already landed. So, Sammy, you and Rhonda have landed. What do you land on?
I'm praying it's the Subway sandwich wrapper because I see it as like, crumpled up and folded, and so there's a little absorption. And hopefully it's not wet.
I did a D6 and I got a 3, so I had Nerds Mickey D's Smells Subway wrapper, milk, and sodas. So I don't know what the smells coming from deeper in the probably I guess a rotting food, something that was like left overnight from before, and like or has been there for probably something rotten. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Gross.
Paul, you are coming in next, and you land, but it's hard. What have you landed on?
I've landed on that squished box of Nerds, so it's flat and crunchy. That's what I hit. I smack into that.
Okay. Bobby, you are the last one down, and you are actively having a panic attack. What do you hit, and how do you center yourself?
I'm gonna roll a d20 real quick.
Go for it.
That's a 2. I land in an open milk carton.
Yes.
I was hoping you would say that.
Oh,
I think
shit.
I think it's partially empty, but like there's definitely enough liquid to be like swimming pool depth that just like splash into.
High shallow dive it.
Yeah, and just continue to just like panic swim as I'm trying to just get oriented.
Oh no!
Amazing.
Oh God. With that, we're gonna get a flip.
Yes.
Ah,
Great.
That was gross and
that was
terrifying.
wonderful.
So
Yikes.
warm. The milk is very warm.
Visuals.
Alicia, which is going to work out perfect.
Ah,
So everyone has
Okay.
boom, 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 boom falling into the trash can.
Okay. Wow.
You have 15 minutes to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Okay, you
And I'll take
all
over.
have found your way into this trash can as Paul tried to get the attention of the janitor. You succeeded, and you have moved into a very new space that is not the multi-purpose room. And this is really not a space that anybody has ever experienced before. We've all seen trash, we've all put trash in the trash can, but now the four of you have a very intimate, up close and personal experience with the trash that comes from Buxley Middle School and the garbage that people throw in there, and there's this rotting smell. And the four of you, you kind of know what this smell is, and it's reminiscent of old Highway 62 out by the silos and what the silos are holding in them. And it's rotten because it's come in as the janitor has cleaned it up off of other tables. And you're smelling, Rhonda, that awful stench of rotting feed from the corn silos.
Oh.
We don't grow corn in Buxley, but we hold
store it.
corn in Buxley. And you are smelling some rotten chunks of corn that were probably here on campus on Friday. Because it is Saturday, and so the janitor is doing
right.
Friday and Saturday's clean.
Sure.
The four of you have landed, but there are only three of you. And Paul, you can't find Bobby. But you can see Sammy, and you can see your mom, and you can notice that there's a lot going on here. But Bobby's nowhere to be found.
Oh no.
Paul, what are you going to do?
Hey, Mom, Sammy, are you guys okay?
Hey, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. Yeah, you?
I think so. I hit this box pretty hard. Nerds, I guess. I stand up, crunch. I look around and I don't see Bobby. Where's Bobby? He and I got swept into the trash can at the same time. Bobby, where are you?
Bobby!
Oh, that'll do it.
Sorry. Yeah, a little sister scream goes right in your ears, directly down the spinal cord.
Well, and I just have this visual of
Nah.
Sammy, like if you've ever been in one of those foam pits in like the trampoline gyms, trying to crawl out of those isn't easy because the ground keeps squishing beneath you. So
It's
I just
the
have this
worst.
visual of Sammy like rolling to try and get off of the paper. Just, Bobby!
In a strange way, like landing on something like kind of semi-flat, like is actually a little advantageous right now because I can sort of like ground myself for a minute and like get a look around. So we yell for Bobby and to see if he can hear us.
Bobby, please roll a brawn.
That I can do.
Yeah.
That is a 12.
Sorry, I did not give you a challenge. It's going to be 10. You can hear them. You are drowning in the milk, but it's muffled, and it's like Sammy's high-pitched voice is very normal sounding right now. It's not high-pitched. It's very normal. And you can hear them. What are you doing? You going to shake, rattle, and roll, try to get yourself out?
I think because he's still wearing like his backpack and his varsity jacket and like all these like very bad things for swimming. So he's kind of managing to keep his head above water, but it's definitely a struggle and it's not going to last forever. He's not on the swim team. And like I think just like starts pounding on the side of the milk carton and like trying to just yell out in between like little dips underwater. Like, God, hey! Hey!
Oh no! I think he's in that milk container.
Yikes.
Hopefully he's not lactose intolerant.
I
It's okay. He's
I
not.
def-
The only thing that gives him the scooty toots is Taco Bell.
That's true.
Oh my god.
the
Well, we-
Scooty Toots.
Look, people don't like it when you say diarrhea, but we're not
No.
talking about social norms and preconceived
I-
etiquette right now. We gotta get my brother out of that milk carton.
Look, I'm writing it down. Yes, let's get him out of there. Quick sidebar. The rotten feed. I grew up here. Mark doesn't know this. I imagine mold and possibly bugs end up being in that kind of stuff. Correct?
You may be correct.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
would like to look around for a weapon.
Oh,
Immediately.
Great idea.
okay.
Immediately.
Plastic spork.
Yeah, because even if it's a gnat, even if it's a gnat, I know that's gonna be a beach ball coming at my head.
So, I don't.
Yeah.
You want to give me a roll, boss?
Yeah, sure. Maybe brains.
Yeah,
Because
I
I'm
was thinking
looking
brains
for-
are. Yeah, brains are fight. So whichever's your
Oh.
highest, I'll let you roll.
I will do brains.
Great.
I mean,
While she's
fight. Sorry.
fight. No, that's fine. While she's rolling, Bobby, what's the flavor of milk you're in? The option.
I was gonna ask that earlier. I'm so glad you asked.
I think it's strawberry.
Has to be.
Yeah.
The worst.
Just covered in like this like
Best.
good old pink strawberry milk. Dyeing like all my clothes like an
I was
olive.
gonna ask, are we dying in like a light pink?
Yeah, 100%.
Ugh. Rhonda, what is your fight roll?
No.
A one.
No.
One.
If the challenge was a 10, I can technically not have. I don't have to roll because it's double the die. But I'm happy to roll a 1. But if I can get away with not rolling, I would like to.
Remember, when you fail, you do get adversity tokens.
Yeah,
so remember
adversity
that,
tokens.
everybody.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Failing
That
is
is true.
okay in this game.
Yeah.
So I did not make a ruling. So Michael, will you make a ruling on the difficulty? Because I was more worried about what's coming next.
Sure.
We will say, I'm trying to. Let me ask you this before you have to.
Sure.
Why did you ask for a fight in order to find a weapon? Because that would determine how I can solve this problem.
Because of how fast, how she can be not fast as in flight, but fast is in combatant if she finds it.
Combat
Because
ready. Got it. Okay, I
I was
understand.
debating between fight and brains, but I think being
Sure.
ready and prepared if she finds it is going to be more impactful than being smart enough to look around. She's a mom, of course
Perfect.
she'll look around.
I love it. So
I
there.
also, we can consider this a trying to protect everybody by equipping
So-
myself, I do get a +3.
Absolutely. And I was also going to say that because your mama bear abilities to be protective, I think comes across for the team. So I would extend that as
Okay. So what I'll say is that there is a plastic fork that is sitting in the trash, and one of the prongs on the fork is like bent, and
Sure.
what you're currently trying to do, you haven't done it yet, is wiggle this thing free, bending it back and forth in order to break it, to use it as like some sort of stabbing weapon or a bat. But
Yeah.
because you failed slightly, you failed with a 5. That's what you're doing. Is that safe to say, Alicia?
I mean,
Yeah,
I can
that works.
I also have 5 adversity tokens. If this is that important, it might be really that important. All right, I'm gonna just pump 5 into it. I don't have any karma or adversity tokens anymore. I have a 10 now, Michael.
Okay, Alicia, he's pulling off this
All
prong,
in.
this
All
yeah,
in.
this prong,
They're,
this
they're called
fork prong.
tines. They're tines.
Tines.
Tines. What am I saying?
Tines.
Prong?
I'm saying
Prong.
prong.
That is a.
I mean,
it's
it's like
thing,
a
isn't
spork
it?
now.
Yeah,
I
but they're
mean,
Yeah,
tines.
You know,
when
they're-
there's two
I
of
mean, I'll
them, it
take
can
a
be prongs.
Tines.
When we're
Okay.
down
Cool.
to two.
I legit learned something new tonight.
yeah, me too.
Tines.
I would have
Wow.
just called it like
The
prong. off
the
the top.
pokey
Yeah.
bit on the
The
fork.
pokey
You're
bit.
able
The
to
pokey
you're
bit.
able to pull one of those off.
The
Technically,
dingle hopper teeth.
The
Mhm.
dingle hopper, Rhonda, you have
Yeah.
received a
That's what it
piece
said, I
of the fork. You've created an almost spork now out of the plastic fork in the trash, and now you can have this on your person. It's a little heavy. It used to be very light when you were a normal size Rhonda, but in
Sure.
Lego size Rhonda, it's quite heavy. So just be prepared for that. It's not the lightest weapon.
Okay.
Paul, there is the carton is shaking near you, and then Bobby stops, and then there's some shaking near you, and what you think is Bobby stops. Then there's some more shaking near you, and Bobby screams, and he's still screaming, and there's still some shaking, and it's not always stopping. What are you thinking?
I want to get him out of that milk carton. My first thought is he's struggling and he's maybe drowning. I don't know how much milk is in there. My thought
Okay.
is if I can successfully get over to that box of milk, I'm going to pull my pocket knife out of my backpack and puncture a hole in that milk carton and let her drain. That's what I would like to try to do.
While you are prepping that, please prep a roll for your I think that would probably be your brains because you're probably smart, but it could be a
Yeah.
brawn roll. So I would roll, oh man, you're a Boy Scout, so I would roll your Boy Scout thing. I don't have it right in front of me, but I would roll
Great.
your brains. And
Great.
while
Thanks.
you're prepping that roll, go ahead.
freeze
Sorry,
frame.
I thought everyone might have cut out
You're
just for a
good now.
second.
What's
There
the
you are.
what's he trying to beat?
He's gonna beat a 12.
Oof.
All
And
right.
while you're rolling, Michael, please prepare. What'd you roll?
Sorry, I don't know if I understand. He's going to beat a 12. What am I preparing?
I flipped out. Prepare to flip.
Oh, prepare to flip. You got it, Jobin.
I rolled a 19. Hot damn.
Boom.
Excellent.
That can you?
I go over there and I plunge my
Yes.
pocket knife into the side of that thing and I like rip up a little bit and let like viscous strawberry spray out.
Amazing. Amazing.
Ugh, strawberry milk.
Amazing. And with that, I did flip, and it is me, Alicia. So as you plunge your pocket knife into the side of this cardboard, and like, I think, didn't you say that you kind of like watch old movies with your mom, like sometimes?
I don't know if I did, but that sounds
Oh, okay.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you didn't, scratch that. But I
I'd like
will
to think that,
say,
like I could stay up late, like waiting for her to
Uh-huh.
get home from work,
Sure,
and
sure.
like we
Yeah.
watch whatever the late night shows are
Yeah,
on, or, you know,
yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
didn't watch. I didn't work Sunday night specifically. So whatever was the big shows.
Movie
Sure,
night.
sure.
Big
You
You
shows
remember?
really- I'm
You
into
remember
it.
like old black and white, like Errol Flynn, Robin Hood, and like these old movies of like pirates who jump on the sails and stick their knife in and slide down. And so you do you remember this as you plunge this into your into the cardboard and rip it down. I'm gonna need you to roll a grit of
Okay.
I'm gonna say 7 as
Oh,
you
okay.
plunge your knife down and milk begins to spray out.
All right, let's do it. got a 12 in grits. Let's give it a go.
Uh-huh.
8.
8.
Nice.
Nice.
So as the milk blasts you,
Rolling so good.
like you are soaked in this pink, like thick liquid, but you're able to kind of step back as it pours out. Bobby, I want you to roll the same thing. A
That was
grit
grit?
of 7.
All right. My crit's a 10. That is a 6.
A 6.
But I do have an adversity token, so
Do you want to use it?
yes, because I would like to not be in this anymore.
Okay, great. So as the milk begins to flow out of this, now becoming like tiny human-sized hole, you're being sucked into it as it flows out, and then your head pops out, and the flow stops for a moment as you're like, oh. And then you're able to kind of like crawl through and then and keep your composure. You're not sucked through and thrown deeper into the trash, and a little bit more milk drains out. Both of you soaking wet with this like thick pink liquid that's dripping off of you. I'll give you a moment.
I am
Uh,
very glad to see you, buddy.
Bobby like kind of like puts a hand on your like your arm and tries to like help himself up, and then just like throws up a bunch of pink liquid, and is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I owe you one. Seriously, that that was awesome."
Don't worry about it, man. You had my back before, and I got yours.
Have you seen my sister?
Yeah, I think she's over there. I turn around to look to see if I can see either Sammy or Rhonda.
Okay.
And like Bobby kind of claps you one more time, like in a real friendly way on the shoulder, and is like, "Seriously, I made it. Thanks." And runs over towards Sammy.
Sammy,
Oh,
generally, as these two boys are running kind of towards you, your brother in front, generally, life isn't that hard for you. You're a kid, you have your science stuff, and you are now in this icky, yucky, disgusting trash can. What's going on right now with you? What's going on with Sammy?
Sammy is probably having the worst day of my life right now. She had the science fair stolen from her, which was rightfully hers. She is not letting that go. There will be inquisitions and paperwork and angry letters. Her machine that's like her ticket to freaking NASA and whatever job she wants now has been taken. And now we're in the trash. But seeing my brother and like realizing that he was just in a lot of trouble, and the realization of the amount of danger, the legitimate amount of danger that we could all actually be in,
Sure.
finally hits Sammy, and she runs to hug her brother without thinking about the fact that he's sticky with strawberry milk. Bobby, you're okay. And I imagine there's like a slapping sound
Sure.
as
Yeah.
And the hug immediately stops. And Sammy just starts crying. It is too much. She is done. She just falls to the floor with her little legs out in front of her and her hands in front, just.
Okay. I think Bobby kind of like sits down with Sammy and is like, "Hey, it's a bad day, but I'm okay. You're okay.
I am
We're
not
okay.
okay. I am sticky and I am in the trash and my project has been stolen and so is the science fair and the Fern Gully movie's probably starting right now and we already drank one of the Capri Suns and we're never gonna see it.
Bobby checks his pockets for the Fern Gully ticket to realize they're like just disintegrated in the milk and like says nothing about that. And it's like,
Oh.
yeah, and I think he's gonna like rip off
Sure.
part of the like a very clean part of the subway wrapper as like a towel almost to try to like clean both himself and
Sure,
Sammy
sure.
off a bit to like
Kind of.
unmess this.
Yeah, you kind of like wrap it around her shoulders,
Yeah.
yours and her shoulders, and you sit as she's kind of for the first time really kind of losing it here, losing her composure. All the while Rhonda is over just like this bent tine prong, whatever you want to call it, she's moving it back and forth as plastic gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and she's able to pull it loose. Rhonda, you went into this defensive mode immediately because you were like, okay, I've been here, I know rotting grain, food, it's a good place for insects, vermins, and things like that, and the size that we are now, I have to do something about it. So I'm going to give you the opportunity now as you rip this away. Your son standing there dripping wet, Bobby consoling his little sister. This is your moment. What's going on? What's going on right now as you pull this thing loose?
Yeah.
Ready to protect everyone.
Right. So it's heavy, so she's gonna like swing it up and like put it on her shoulder, and like hold it like this, and she's gonna go, okay, everybody, listen up. Paul, go into my bag and put my sweater and my leggings inside the leg warmers and get that girl something soft to squeeze and cry on. And I'm gonna go, Bobby. I'm gonna go, Bobby, I need you to get actually, she's gonna take it over her shoulder and she's gonna throw the tine to Bobby. I'm like, you're a big strong boy, swing away, Robert, swing away.
Nice.
Okay. Is that a reference to something?
No.
Aliens.
No, I made that up.
Signs.
I made that up right now.
Science hasn't come out yet.
I made that up.
You're right.
It doesn't come out.
Yeah, he takes it, nods.
Right now.
Shyamalan stole it from Rhonda.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, and then she is going to get out her keychain that has like way too much stuff on it, and like wield it as a weapon.
Okay.
And she's gonna like she's gonna use the rest of her stuff to make like a kind of like a flail type situation. And she's gonna go, all right, that's all I had. I'm just okay. That's it. That's all the energy I have. And she's gonna okay. And I am gonna make a roll to see if she remains conscious. Well, there's my nat 20 on the other side of the one. So,
Brilliant. So your
yeah,
composure,
great.
no, your composure, you were like, Bobby, you do this right now. You are the adult and you are taking charge.
Right.
Bobby, you do this. Here, take this back. Paul, you go in my bag and you get this thing. Get her settled because we're in 4. And then from the grain, you see it begin to rumble and you hear skittering and clattering and chittering. And you see a pair of antennae pop up out of this moldy, gross nastiness, and another pair of antennae and another pair of antennae.
Oh no.
And you see the glow and the snapping of ants, sugar ants,
Plural?
multiple.
Oh,
And as we prepare
Rest in
for
peace,
battle
Ice.
inside of a trash
No!
can, we are going
Ugh.
to end tonight's session.
Wow.
Oh.
Fantastic. We are not out of the trash can yet, everybody.
Hey.
So yeah, once again, I am joined with Alicia, my co-DM. Please, let's go around once more. I'll finish us off. Tell us who you are and where people can find you.
I will start us off. I'm Alicia Filiolo, one half of the Dueling Dungeon Master. You can find me across all social medias at Alicia Filiolo. And if you spell my name right and you send me a DM, I might send you something in return.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's cool. I am Beverly Provost. You can find me on Instagram at Beverly Provost Official and TikTok at Nerdy Native Gal. And I have been playing.
Sammy Sawyer.
I'm Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at BoomManGrenade, or you can follow me on Live from the Apocalypse on Twitch, where we do a bunch of TTRPGs for charities. And here I'm playing Bobby Sawyer, the kind of not so bright but real strong older brother of Sammy Sawyer.
Hey everyone, my name is Nick Mason, and you can find me online at Nick Mason with a 0. And I have been Paul Clark tonight. This was great. Thanks everyone.
And my name is Mark. You can find me at Magic Mad Mark again here and there. I've been playing Rhonda. That's it. It's been great. It was a good show. It was a good episode.
And your
all
hair
I
was
got.
amazing the whole time.
And your
too.
hair was amazing.
Gorgeous.
My name is Michael. You can find me at PTH official _official all of those things. You can also find me at BattleBard Dice on all of the socials. Thank you everyone so much for this wild ride as we've journeyed into the trash can. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. And thank you, Klaus. Thank you, Klaus, for running
Klaus
the stream.
Cam!
Klaus Cam!
Look, we do it for stage. You know, we motion to the
Yay!
sound booth. We motion to the sound booth on stage. We should do that on the film too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Post-production does so much work. Anyway, go ahead.
Thanks everyone who joined us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
They're the part-time heroes. I don't remember the rest of the song. The part-time heroes.
In the eye of the beholder, do.
I remember grab the baby and the coffee, and it's time to play.
We're not going out yet.
I know.
We are all clear because I know you all can go on
40-second
forever if I
delay.
let you. So
That's true.
That was hilarious.
I don't like
we're not
silences.
clear. I stopped
That is
recording. We're
fun.
still
Silent.
streaming.